It was supposed to be a fresh start, a new city, a new job, and a newly rented flat in a peaceful residential building, apartment 4C, top floor, with a perfect view of the city skyline. I didn't know that I wasn't moving in alone because something already lived there. The first night was uneventful. I unpacked, set up the bed, and fell asleep with the windows open. The air was oddly cold, but I chalked it up to elevation. At 3 am, I woke up suddenly, not because of a sound, but a smell, something rotten, like decayed meat and burnt plastic. And then a whisper right next to my ear. You shouldn't have come. I turned the lights on. Nothing. I told myself it was just the stress of the move, but the flat had other plans. The next day, I met my neighbor from 4B, an old woman named Meena. She stared at me for a long time before saying, "They still haven't sealed that flat?" I asked her what she meant. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "You know, no one stays in 4C more than 13 nights. After that, either they run away or they go missing." Then she walked away without another word. I laughed it off. Superstition, I thought. But that night, while brushing my teeth, the mirror started to fog up. Though I hadn't used hot water, words began to appear in the fog. Get out before she comes back. On the third night, I started hearing footsteps from the room above. But I lived on the top floor. There was no room above. The thudding continued, slow and deliberate, like someone pacing. Then came the dragging sound, something or someone being pulled across the floorboards. I tried to leave that night, packed a bag, grabbed my keys, but when I opened the door, I wasn't in the hallway. I was back in the flat, standing in the kitchen, staring at the stove I had just turned off 5 minutes ago. I never opened the door again after dark. The walls started whispering, soft voices, some crying, some laughing. One night, I heard a child calling, "Mama," from the cupboard under the sink. I opened it slowly. There was no child, just teeth, tiny baby teeth, scattered on the wooden shelf, some still bloody, and scribbled in crayon across the black wall. She hid me here when Daddy screamed too loud. On the seventh night, my phone stopped working. Photos I took around the flat would change by themselves. Empty hallways now showed a figure standing at the end, a woman, hair over her face, arms hanging by her sides, and feet twisted completely backward. Once I recorded myself sleeping at exactly 3 am. I sat up in bed with my eyes rolled back, whispering, I belong to her now, but I had no memory of it. I confronted Meena again. She said she was killed in that flat by her husband. She buried her inside the walls, but her spirit remained angry, broken, hungry. She takes one soul every month. and she marks her next victim by appearing in their dreams, standing over them, brushing their hair with broken fingers. That night, I woke up to hair on my pillow, long back strands that were not mine, and scratch marks on my scalp. I tried to break the lease. The landlord refused. I called a priest. He didn't step inside, just stood at the doorway and whispered, "This isn't just a haunting, it's a trap. She draws in them, feeds off them, and never lets them leave." On the 13th night, I locked every door and window. I sat with every light on. At 3 a.m., the power cut out, and I heard breathing. Not normal breathing, but wet, rasping, like lungs filled with water. Then footsteps coming from the ceiling. I held my breath. Suddenly she dropped from above. Her neck snapped, her jaw unhinged, eyes pure white, feet twisted backward. She crawled towards me, her fingers dragging across the tiles, nails clicking like glass, and she whispered, "You stayed too long." I don't remember much after that. When I woke up, it was morning. Everything looked normal until I checked the mirror and saw her reflection behind mine, smiling, brushing my hair slowly. I left that day, but the flat didn't let me go. Now every 13th night, I wake up at 3 a.m. and I smell her, burnt plastic and rot. Sometimes I see her in the corners of reflections, brushing her hair with bloody hands. She found me, and she never stops watching.